Welcome to Chica sa Casa. Welcome to Chica sa Casa. I'm your host, Argentina, and today we have a fantastic episode in store for you. We're sitting down with the fabulous Filipino sex educator and podcast host, Tim Lagman. Get ready to unzip the layers of truth and laughter as we dive into the highs and lows of being an openly gay man in a traditional Filipino family. It's going to be an unapologetically fun chikahan that's bound to leave you, hopefully, feeling empowered and entertained. Meet the fabulous Tim.
Woo! Musta?
Kumusta? Welcome to the Chikahan, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get into the juicy details, could you tell our listeners a bit about yourself and the work you do as a sex educator and obviously an LGBTQ plus advocate?
Oh my God, where do I start? Okay. Dali lang. I already forgot where I started because I've been doing this for so long. Like I have to recap my entire career history. So how I got started in sex education was in 2018. I had finished my schooling in business. I graduated with honors. Hey, and I was also just coming out of escorting. So I had to figure out what I wanted to do. Like I have my experience as an escort and then I have my diploma in business management. What can I do? I don't really like both anymore at that point because I was already tired from escorting, but I'm also like, I'm not a businessman. So I was like, what am I going to do to combine the two things I love? And then I Googled, I searched what are the possible like career paths. And then I saw sex educator. I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool. I'm going to try that out. So before having done anything serious, nagbakasyon ako sa New York and I was like with my one of my like amigas and then she was like Tim, can I ask you something because you're gay, how do you have anal? And I was like wow, just because I'm gay you assume I know anal. I mean it's true but like
Did you
wow,
say rude?
Rude, but true, but rude. Rude, true, and rude.
Wait.
Yeah, diba? So what started out as like one question became like this whole lecture that I started to fall in love with, like talking about the anatomy, talking about lube, yung puwet, yung ano pa. And then that's where I was like, okay, wow, I'm actually like pretty good at this. So mga 2018 onwards, word of mouth muna. So like, she talked to her friend, that friend talked to others. Tapos I was doing like mga bachelorettes. And then, the pandemic hit. And I was like, hindi ko na kayang mag in-person coaching. So, ano gagawin ko? So I started my business online. So I started doing mga online workshops, mga lectures online. And that's how I also launched my website and my podcast, Sex Ed with Tim. And now that things have basically gone back to normal, I'm going back to doing in-person workshops and I'm also teaching pole fitness. At saka ngayon, yung full-time job ko, when I'm not doing my sex education and sex ed podcast, is that I'm a project coordinator for an organization called Let's Stop AIDS. So tinuturo ko yung mga bata about sexual health, yung mga HIV, STIs, how to prevent them, and how to inform yourself with the correct knowledge so that you can make a healthy sexual choice.
Wow. It's amazing.
Diba?
Good for you.
Diba? Thank
Well, you know, you always fascinate me because you're so open when it comes to
my legs
sex
open
and queerness, and your legs always spread wide open. I'm curious as to the journey it took to get there. Especially you and I are both from the same community, the Filipino community, with the quote unquote traditional values and all of that, right? So, you know, I want you to take us on a journey in terms of how did it go about? Because, you know, just on our informal chit chat, we're like, oh, your family's from like a religious family. You used to participate in a lot of like church activities and all of that kind of thing. Like, how was that? Like navigating that whole trajectory and coming out as authentically you, like Tim.
Oh my God. Another thing that's hard to summarize. Well, kasi nung bata pa ako, I really liked yung, not Barbie, pero si Ken.
So that was the
I
first
really
time.
like that was like
You
dapat yung
enjoyed
first
playing
like
with Ken more than
Ken
you enjoyed
dolls.
playing with Barbie.
Yeah, but I really wanted the doll. I was like, do I like Ken or do I like Ken? Diba? So, diba? Pero I never got like
Yeah.
the opportunity to like play with Ken kasi yung mga magulang ko, they were like, no, dolls are for girls. I'm like, okay, fine. Pero that didn't stop at the toy store because that kind of feeling carried on when I went to, oh, well, for all the Filipino listeners out there, I went to Ateneo, which is a Jesuit all-boys school. And syempre naman, me being surrounded by all boys, diba? Parang, ooh, ano to? What's this feeling? Everybody is like changing in front of me.
How old were you around this time?
So I entered Ateneo when I was like in grade 1, which is like what?
Okay. So
yeah, very, very young. Grade 1 na ako nun. And then, I just always felt like na parang there's something I like about being surrounded by all the boys. Kasi meron akong, tumitingin, corner of my eye.
Kinikilig-kilig.
Kilig-kiligs, diba? Pero also coming from an all-boys school that was strictly like Jesuit and Catholic. So Jesuit is basically like Catholicism on steroids. And
that's
diba?
a good way to describe it.
Diba? Like, they preached about like homosexuality is a sin or, two men can never be with each other. A man must be.
And also,
this. Yeah.
In our community, how they use the term bakla as an insult for being
Yeah.
soft. Like there's always this negative thing attached to it, right?
Yeah. Nung bata pa ako, naririnig ko, that's so gay. And it's like, oh, okay, so that's what that word means. It means
so you associate
bad.
being gay as being bad.
As bad, right? So I was like, okay, so the word gay means bad or dumb or stupid. Got it. So that's where I was like, nalilito na ako na parang I'm feeling these ways, pero yung mga kaklase ko sabi nila, that's so gay. So does that mean I'm bad? So it was already very confusing, and I didn't really have the language for it to be like, okay, I am gay or whatever. I just thought, okay, I like this boy. Yan lang. So I never really came out to my parents until like maybe, or not came out, like I did not think about my sexual identity until we moved to Canada in 2005, nung 12 years old na ako. And that's where I started to like see, oh, okay, there are actually people who feel the same things as me. And even then it was very hard kasi yung mga magulang ko, they're very like super Catholic. And then one day may nakita sila sa headlines sa newspaper, like 2 men kissing. And sabi nila, ew! So I was like, ay shit, I can't tell them yet. So it was already very hard na parang, when is it okay to tell them? Kailan ba sila mag-ease up? And then jump forward to like when I was 21 years old. So between 12 and 21, I was like sprinkling little things to my parents.
Like little
about,
hints
like,
here and there.
Yeah, na parang like it's actually not so bad to be a gay person, Parang pinapakita ko yung mga headlines like gay bashing. And then that's when they'd be like, ay, oo nga, parang masama yan talaga.
So
maybe
you're
gay people
planting the seed.
Oh, diba? And then I was like, maybe gay people are people too? Maybe? And that we deserve rights just like everyone else? I was starting to show them things na parang like figures of history that were like rumored to be gay. And then it's like parang, oh, okay, gay people have actually been around for a long, long time, obviously.
Yeah.
And then
it's not like the old people that nakikiuso, it's just a phase.
Yeah.
So
phase, sure.
Kind of thing, right?
Thanks, Mary. It's just a phase. So until I hit my 21st birthday, nasa basement ako ng bahay, and then I was like, okay, this is the time to do it. Ito na yan. I called my best friend, like just in case shit hits the fan. And I had like at least 2 weeks worth of savings so that I could find something. And then sabi ko sa best friend ko,
because you were scared that they're going to kick you out of the house?
Oh, yeah. And the reason I chose it on my 21st birthday was because you can't be mean to me. It's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Parang like, it's my birthday. Yeah. You're not allowed to be mean.
Yeah.
So I planned everything. I sat in my basement. Sabi ko, Mom, Dad, I have something to tell you. Parang ang tagal talaga ng pause. I was like, umiiyak na ako at that time. I'm like, Mom, Dad, ang hirap. But like, I just want you to know that I'm gay. And I've known for a long time. Tapos, tahimik lang. It was very quiet. And then...
So it was just the three of you? Mom, Dad, you?
Yeah. Kaming tatlo lang. And it was like, after I said I'm gay, sabi nila, like maybe after a 30-second pause, which felt like forever, sabi nila, son, we love you no matter what. Pero, can you come upstairs? Lumalamig na yung pizza. Like, really?
This was your dad that said that?
My mom and dad. Oh my God. All they cared about was the food that was getting cold upstairs. I was like, oh, putang ina.
Wow.
So yun. I'm sure
that was not easy, right? Because for you to even plan ahead in terms of like thinking, okay, they're probably going to kick me out of the house. Just the whole mental stress of it all. But once it's over, what was the feeling?
Parang like free, gusto kong tumalon. I wanted to fly. Like, it was like one more thing off my chest that I can be like, okay, my parents actually don't hate me for being gay. They just hate me because I'm rude.
So there was a reason.
Yeah, there was a reason that they disliked me, and it wasn't because I was gay. It was because I would always leave the dishes in the sink, never clean.
Yeah. Wow. But that's okay. So did you change? Like, was there a change in terms of your behavior previous to you letting your parents know, and then after, or were you always like full of life, vivacious kind of person, or were you felt like, okay, now I can act like myself?
I think yung main difference before and after coming out is that I was able to talk more comfortably to my parents regarding my dating life and my love life. Kasi for a long time, alam mo naman yung mga Pinoy, parang, boy, sino ba girlfriend mo? May girlfriend ba? Sino shota mo? May jowa? Like, mga chismis na whatever. So I would always be like, no girlfriend yet. Wala pa. So after I came out, I can finally talk about like, oh, okay, I'm actually seeing this boy. Like, to the point na parang just last January, I had just like split up with my ex-partner. Pero I was able to be like, Mom, Dad, meron akong boyfriend. And then my mom grabs my phone to look at the picture and she was like, oh my God, kuya, ang guwapo. Ang pogi naman niya. Magkano yung utang, yung salary?
Yeah, how much are you paying this guy to date you? That was like the comment.
Yeah. Pero sabi ko, it was like, Mom, Dad, mayaman siya. That's all you need to know. Mayaman siya.
How was it? Because, being Filipinos, we're a tight-knit family. And family just doesn't mean mom, dad. That means like tito, tita, lolo, lola, pinsan, the whole shebang. Like, how was that?
You know what? I don't know if I ever actually fully came out to my extended family. Alam ko lang na I came out to my parents. And then I think the rest of my family just like heard it through the grapevine. Narinig nila na, Tim came out. Okay. We've known all along. Ganon. So parang it was almost like not a surprise. And then like when I started dressing around fam jams na parang like very pink and floral, dyeing my hair a different color, wearing manicures. They're like, oh, okay. Confirmed.
Okay, it's been confirmed. So, they probably had their suspicions, but
for a long time. So parang
for a long time.
Yeah. So
okay.
I never had to like come out to my extended family. It's just like I just became comfortable in my own skin until they like accepted that too. Okay, great. Sige.
Humor has been a unifying force within your family, right? And for someone that's in a position where they're scared of coming out to their family, what advice would you give them?
Takot ka. I think kasi coming out is like so personal. Don't ever come out on anyone else's terms other than your own. It's only when a person is comfortable enough in their own skin, in their own identity, that they should come out. That's why it sucks when someone is outed. Because it's like, you robbed me of that choice, of my agency to like live my truth. So my advice really is just to come out on your own terms. And your own terms is going to be however long it's going to take. like however you feel safe and comfortable. Like when you come out, when you're ready to come out, it feels like, okay, everything is safe. I have a backup plan should anything go wrong. And I feel that like maybe they're ready to hear it, maybe not. I don't know. But everyone's coming out journey is different. What matters is that it's your choice. Dapat kayo lang ang may priority.
That's amazing. I love that advice. That's a beautiful
Actually,
advice.
sandali lang. So when I came out to my parents as gay, they're like, okay, we love you, but the pizza's getting cold. What was more difficult actually was when I came out to them as no longer practicing Catholicism. I decided to tell them that parang I don't want to go to church anymore. This just is not for me. Yun ang yung like long periods of no talking to each other. I think it was like a whole week of us just like not talking to each other. Parang they took me leaving the church harder than me coming out as gay.
Isn't that so interesting?
Oh, diba? Na parang you can be
it's
gay,
so interesting,
but
the contradiction.
Right? Diba? Parang you can be gay, but like you have to join us in heaven. I'm like, can't I find
Even
another way to
though
get
their
there?
religion is basically preaching that you'll go to hell for being gay.
Yeah. Whatever. Party in hell, hey.
But this is what I mean. Like it's such a huge contradiction between like accepted for being gay, but not being accepted for not being Catholic anymore.
Yeah.
What?
It's like, oh, okay, so your unconditional love does have conditions. I just didn't read the fine print.
What do you think is the thing that helped you a lot in navigating these conversations and situations with your family, not just with your family, and I'm sure there's like friends as well that didn't really know. And you know, when you were going through your journey, what do you think about you that really helped you in terms of, you know, staying grounded, and not being apologetic for being authentically you?
I think yung una na natuto ko is like, first I need to accept myself for who I am no matter what anyone else thinks. Kasi the only person that I should be worried about is myself. The only person that I should be worried about is myself. Diba? Like at the end of the day, like the only well-being that I should be like concerned about is my own well-being. And you know, that's kind of what helped me center my life and my life philosophy. Na parang it's because like being raised in a Filipino Catholic family, you're taught na parang altruism is everything. You must be a man for others. You must always be giving your heart and your soul to a greater cause, or else you're going to be called selfish. But I was like, paano naman ako? Wala naman akong resources for myself. So I think it's about time that I became a little more selfish and took care of myself, because if I don't take care of myself, how am I going to be there for anyone else? Diba?
Right.
So sabi ko sa sarili ko na I need to focus on me, regardless of what anyone else thinks. But it wasn't as easy as just like turning on a switch. I had like a good support system. Yung mga friends ko, they were like, Tim, we're here for you no matter what. You're like shoulder to cry on. You know, fuck what anyone else thinks. Those people are bullshit. So like to navigate that is two important things: a strong sense of self and a good support system.
Yeah. I love that. And you're right? Like how do you expect other people to accept you if you can't accept who you are? Right? And I think that's really beautiful. Even with your podcast that like openly discusses sex. Like, do you get any comments from like the titos and titas about it?
Not so much the titas and titas that are blood related to me, but rather the titas and titas of my friends. So like, for example, as of this recording, I just released and finished releasing my series called Pillow Talk. And my Pillow Talk series is 4 episodes where I record the conversation I have with men immediately after we fucked. So it was like...
So it's literally a literal
pillow talk. Exactly. So like the moment he comes and the moment I come, I press record on my phone and then we just talk. So it was a very ambitious like episode or series. But for me to be so open and vulnerable on the show, that comes from me being like, I don't care what anyone else thinks. It's my show. I'm going to do what I want with it. And if people don't like it, then that's their problem. I like what I put out and I like my own creation. And it just seems to attract like other people who are into that. Like sometimes I get comments that are like, wow, Tim, you're so like open and vulnerable and sex positive. It's almost intimidating for me to be as positive as you are. It's kind of like I don't think I could ever be as open and vulnerable as you. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Try. Like when I get like comments like that from titas and titas from my friends, not my family. So they're like, wow, Tim, ang brave mo naman. Like I don't know how you could, I don't think I could ever talk about my sex life. I'm like, ganun talaga ako, tita eh. Ano pag gagawin ko sa buhay
and that's
ko?
you, and this is me.
Yeah. I have so much time, tita. I have so much time.
That's amazing. Like, I mean, you know, for you to be able to, and it's really brave, Tim, I must say. Like, you know, you and I, like what I said, Filipino community, sex especially is such a taboo topic. It's not something that, the way that we're raised is that that's something that you don't talk about in public. You do that, you know, in your bedroom. And sometimes even partners don't even talk about it among themselves. Because
Filipinos literally have a song called Sex Bomb. How are we still scared to talk about this? Sex bomb, sex bomb.
Wait, that's not a Filipino song.
Well, you know what I mean, the Sex Bomb girls. You know, the whatever. I love, you know what I'm talking about. Yung mga Sex Bomb girls.
No. There is like the party song.
Yeah.
That I think was popularized by the Sex Bomb girls.
Yeah.
As long as it's like discreet, you know, a little mahinhin, a little bit like Marietta here and there. That's okay. But don't just go out there and say, Puki mo.
Okay. Good.
You know?
But it's literally a TV show, Pokemon. Hello. Let me take a Pikachu. I will take a Pikachu.
We get to, like, collecting
Filipino
Pokemons,
joke.
I do want to say thank you, Tim, for being one of my first guests in my podcast.
I broke your virginity.
You taking the time. Popping my podcast cherry. Thanks, Tim, for popping my podcast cherry.
Kadiri.
Okay, I need you to like do your promotion. Where can people find you? How do people subscribe to your podcast? The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. So, thank you everyone for listening to me ramble on about nonsense. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at sexedwithtim. My website is sexedwithtim.com, and you can probably guess what the name of my podcast is. It's Sex Ed with Tim, available on all streaming platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, literally everywhere and anywhere a podcast is available. Don't forget to rate and subscribe, because if you do, it gets the show on the charts, and it will be supporting Filipino, gay, queer content.
You happy?
Masturbating, I guess?
That's the answer. No profound answer there.
Do you want a profound answer? Well, what makes me happy? I mean,
what makes Tim Lagman happy?
Tim Lagman is happy when he masturbates. No, I think to answer your question, I think masaya ako pag yung energy ng mga tao that surround me match my energy. So if you are like just as motivated as I am, if you are just as slutty as I am, diba? Yun ang gusto ko. Like, and
how do we get along then? We're like complete opposite.
What do you mean, complete opposite? Wow. Ikaw yung mas malandi sa akin, ha?
No, I love that. And it's true. When you're surrounded by the people that just gets you, you know, like they know the vibe, it's definitely a great feeling for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, Tim. That was so much fun. Thank you for making my evening and making me laugh. And to all our listeners out there, remember, it's okay to be unapologetically yourself. Embrace your truth. Find lots of laughter in life. And remember that you're never alone. Be sure to follow Tim on his podcast and social media platforms for more empowering conversations and salivating conversations. So make sure you check him out. And that's a wrap for our episode for today for Chica sa Casa. Yeah. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. And we'll be back with more exciting episodes soon. Until
Yay.
then, stay fabulous and keep unzipping the layers of truth and laughter in your life. That's it for us. Bye!
Magandang gabi, bayan!